Welcome back, baby dolls. Today's episode of Crypto's Juiciest News is going to focus on these Grayscale, Bitcoin, GBTC, and the Bitcoin price, okay, amongst other things. But we're going to have to speak about what's been going on because we were all expecting the God candle. Max Kaiser was talking about it. Everybody else was talking about it. But your friend saw me here with a straight back and a cork hat and pointy elbows. I was telling you, it might be sell the news, and by it might be as in it's always sell the freaking news, friends. So this is exactly what has happened. So we were expecting a God candle of $10,000 up, but what we got was an $8,000 down daily candle. I mean, you can't make this up. Literally, what did I tell you, man? The crowd's always wrong, friends. Literally, the crowd is always wrong. You see this? 49 bang. That's huge. Now, a lot of people, I know it's confusing. You know why? Because I'm here 18 hours a day. Not everybody else is. So what happens is, if you are bullish, you will go and you will see like 4 bearish people. And then you will say, I don't know, it's 50-50, the bulls and the bears, okay? Don't make this mistake, okay? Because this is how you're going to get bull trapped at the top. You see, that is a false equivalency. It's because you're looking through Twitter where people have a higher survival rate. So you have to be super careful about the opinions you try to use for your survey analysis. If you are stuck though, there's a trick though. You just look at the chart. That's it. If you are stuck, you look at the chart, you look at the facts. You look at, okay, we have run up only for a freaking year. We have had now a giant launch, and I'm going to show you charts which show you that, okay? That trumps everything. It doesn't matter what you see and what you think, okay? You go, oh my gosh, there's an announcement coming in. I've heard people talk about a God candle, okay? You know what's interesting though? When you see one euphoria call, friends, one person says, I think this is going up to 100K. You don't even hear any of that in the bear market. None. No one dares to say that, okay? So these are something that you've got to be considering when it comes to the next time we go through a major macro swing top or a macro swing low. So this is the most alarming news at all. Crapo is bullish, friends. I repeat, Crapo is now bullish, okay? He goes, as long as BTC stays above 40K, it could reach 50K. What is that, bro? What are you talking about? Who talks like that, man? Okay, so this is the actual chart. This is the chart I want to look at, okay? I've drawn a big macro fib from the top down to the bottom, okay? We literally, can't make this up, touched the 61.8% fib to the tick. I was literally drawing it, friends. I had literally drawn it when we're like here. When we're like here, I just drew this fib. Okay, we literally came up here, and now it's a red candle. Now I'm going to put your friend Somi's coincidental expectation here, but it's not just a squiggly line, okay? I don't care. You follow the trend still technically says up on the weekly, and everything else we're guessing, okay? But this is just, if you were to put a water pistol to my head, how do all of us get screwed over? Okay, I'm just telling you, I know. Okay, so let's look at what does everybody want, okay? So the bulls want up only. Sure, okay. The crapos, the bears want a sell the news like this. Okay, that's what they want. So, and I think they're both not going to happen. Okay, I am just guessing, but what would actually screw everybody is we come back to this moving average. This is a 21 EMA. We come back to here in the middle of the year. Okay, and then so we don't have to though, but friends, we can just do this, come back later on. That's the dump. That could be the dump, right? So we go sideways. That's the dump, and remember this dot line will be here now. And then later in the year, we actually go up and we poke this high like this. Now, this is the most dangerous chart of all because this would be literally repeating the 4-year cycle tick for tick right now. You have the big dump, and I'm going to show you where it comes from, right? You can even see it on the fractal. That would be this crash here. You see this crash here? This is from the Mt. Gox Ponzi Cycle. So if we go back, and friends, you can see it clear as day. If you go back to the Mt. Gox Ponzi Cycle, where it is right now, this is the fractal that they're looking at, okay? It is the Bitcoin halvening dump. So these vertical lines are Bitcoin halvening. It's a Bitcoin halvening dump. And then we go up. And now that we're here, it's up only, okay? That's what everyone expects. But what would screw everybody over? What would it actually be? Well, it would be if, see, this happens, but then we actually get a stock market crash or a jitter down later on in the year, like this. Bang, like that. And this would, friends, look at this. If you notice, this finishes 2024 red. This is a red 2024. Never before seen. Bitcoin halving year down. Okay, so this is what it would be if this happens. Okay, and I'm actually going to screenshot this just to show you, right? Just to see what everyone else thinks. And this scenario is very dangerous, friends. I made an extended post. I'm going to go make another dedicated video just to this. It's because this chart, okay, this is dangerous, okay? Firstly, everyone gets rinsed because there's no, buy the rumor, sell the news, whatever. There's no big, satisfaction for that. You have the fake out, and then you have everything going down. This would be unprecedented, okay? No one's ever seen a red Bitcoin halving year. It's always been green. I think the first one, 2012, Bitcoin went up, I think, 13x. And then the next one went up like 2.5x. And then in 2020 went up 2x. So its minimum was 2x. So that's why to have a red Bitcoin halving year would really put things into question, because that means now the 4-year cycle is thrown off. Okay, but I've told you, if we get this, okay, now not financial advice, you basically, you got to go all in on crypto. You should already be all in, by the way, not financial advice, but there is absolutely no excuse for that. If we get that scenario, if we finish 2024 disappointing with a red year, I promise, friends, I promise to God, you will need to literally go all in, because it will be the biggest disaster of all time for every single weekend, because they think 2024 is a green year and 2025. If this one's wrong, that's it, they're out. You might find all those people who sell at the bottom of 2024, if we had a red year, okay, they end up FOMO buying the end of 2025, and then the FOMO is so strong it carry on through 2026. So you might have 2 green years. It's literally almost guaranteed. Okay, but I don't know. Okay, so you might also say, friends, if you're new to markets, you might then throw out, what if it's 2 red years? We've never had 2 red years in a row. Yeah, look, everything's possible. Okay, that's why you don't do leverage. Just be careful on leverage. Or if you do have leverage, you just got to be careful, because I'm going to be warning you. If we get to this period right up here, I'm going to be telling you, be careful, because if we start going down, right, we have this weekly super trend here, friends. What I'm going to do is see this super trend, this weekly. I'm going to go, it's going to be like higher. It's going to be here, right? It might be here. And so if Bitcoin comes down, all right, if it comes down here and closes, everyone's going to be thinking it's a low, but this super trend has now flipped red, and where we might find it has some big capitulation or whatever. So that's what you got to be careful of. That's what I'll be warning you. You'll be using the super trend just to say, hey man, like, everyone's saying it's bad, it's going to reverse anytime soon. But like, just to show you, okay, the last time before a all-time high break, you had a weekly super trend red. Look what happens. It stays like that for a while. So it doesn't mean we're necessarily going to get it. If you want to look at the Gox Ponzi Cycle, which is also very fascinating, it never flipped red on the weekly super trend ever. Not once. It was there, but it didn't close it. It wicked back above. And look, funny enough, look at this. Another time here, another time here. It never went red until the very, very top. So that's what I'm hoping happens. But you don't know, right? You don't know. Most importantly, though, does it really matter when I have this information for you? Look at this. Is this time different? I want to ask you this. Is this time different, friends? The Bitcoin CME futures launch literally at the top here, right? The Bitcoin futures ETF launch at the top here. And now here is the Bitcoin spot ETF launch at the top here. Wall Street, insiders, it's all the same game. They distribute on retail. Unfortunately, they do it at the top. They trap everybody. It's like an enormous amount of free money for them. It's a disgusting game. So whether you like influencers or you don't like them, or you listen or you don't listen, this is something you can't deny. And I have this post to show you, like, where's it all coming from? Look, you don't need to know this story. You don't need to know it. You just need to know, oh, wow, it's a big news event. Okay, sweet. And you've gone up only. That's all you need to know. Okay, but look at this. Look at this. Okay, the Bitcoin move is mostly done. Now we've got a rotation into Ethereum and altcoins. It gives us the magic alt season we deserve for the early 2021 cutoff scam. It might run until the US Fed cuts rates. They either cut in March 17 or May 1st. So that's it, friends. So there is a 90% chance they will cut rates, price into the market. and it's actually higher than that, I think, and it's either March 17 or May 1st. So that might be marking the end. That's the very, very top, right? Maybe of stocks, maybe stocks. We don't know with crypto, friends. We don't know with crypto. See, it's possible, right? It's possible that stocks crash after that rate cut, like later on, and we crash with it. But then as stocks recover, it's possible Bitcoin, we go back to 50K and we trap everybody there. But then stocks roll over and then we sink harder. Okay, so that's a big trap, right? Because crypto, we were lagging stocks for a long time. So we might find throughout 2024, we are stronger on average. And that's what we want. We want the S&P 500 to be super weak for us to catch up. Okay, and because we've rinsed a lot of weak hands in 2022. This is a picture from Rand, friend of the channel, okay? Basically, we go through the GBTC, right, had $25 billion of Bitcoin that's been locked up for years. So he goes, look, even if just 20% of the Grayscale Bitcoin is redeemed, that is $5 billion of Bitcoin sale on the market. So you can see the chart here. So people are being trapped in GBTC, friends. I read a thread, wish I could find it for you. Lost this thread with this guy. Basically, his firm, there's all these firms, they were there to dump on retail, right? They're there to dump on, they did the trade where they buy Bitcoin, they give it to Grayscale, and then in 1 year, they get GBTC and they dumped on retail. And they were just dumping the premium, and they were doing 3x leverage, every single person. So they were able to turn a 30% return into 90%. So they were making 90% yield on Bitcoin. How crazy is that, right? That's crazy. That's what they were doing. That they were dumping on the Grayscale customers. It's a big giant grift because it wasn't allowed to track and all these other stuff. It's just terrible. And by the way, the customer's losing 2% fees per year. So you're getting dumped on and all this. And then what happened was the Grayscale premium became a discount, and then it all just snowballed from there. All these firms went bankrupt. They all took losses. The guy who made the thread, his firm, they took a 38% loss. They took a huge 38% loss, and he says luckily they did, because if they held on, they would have been bankrupt. Everyone gone out of a job. So this is what happens in these trades. When everyone's doing it, it becomes real. You never win, friends. You go listen to people who were doing the trade. They were saying that, and people who weren't, right, who were doing this big trade with firms, VCs, they said they heard of everybody making money, and they're like, oh, what complicated thing are you doing? And they found that it was just like the most easiest thing ever to dump on retail. But look, they all got destroyed for it. So that's what you get for trying to brutalize the people. Counteracting, though, the news, Jim Cramer, right, is turbo bearish on Bitcoin. He said that's the major top. So that's why, friends, he has a special video, in-depth Bitcoin top call, right, tonight on the show. So when Jimmy Cramer is like this, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's definitely gonna like go up now, right? But here's the thing. This is the thing, friends. See the chart I have now is oil, US oil. And I remember this, all right? When oil went up here, okay, when oil went up, this is $130 a barrel. Jimmy Cramer, right, he was bullish up here. But then when it went down here, he was bearish, okay? But this is the thing that happened, okay? When we went back up, okay, when we went back up here, see here? He flipped to bullish, and he said JP Morgan is calling for a $220 oil or $300 oil. I'm not joking, right? I made posts on this. So Jim Cramer flips bullish here again, but he never turns bearish until something like down here. I'm not even kidding. I promise you, I'm not making this up. Go back and check my tweets. It's the most fascinating thing ever. So he was bullish up here, bearish here, bullish here, bearish down here, and then we snapped up. That could happen with Bitcoin. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, he changes his mind like every 2 days. Okay, literally just changed his mind. So even he's indecisive. Okay, so you could find, right. So he's bearish here. Okay, now he's bearish here. You might find we stall out. He gets bullish again, and then we come down and we do the fake out. So you don't know, man. But it's funny. It's funny. Like, can you believe we're like relying on one dude for the calls? Well, yes. This guy has like an insane rate. I don't know why. I don't know why it happens. But you have to know why it happens. And it's because, crowd consensus. Okay. So this is Sir Ivan the Great, Ivan the Great technologist. He's saying Crapo is bullish. I am bullish. Martini guy is bullish. All of these, friends. Okay. So look at this. Can't really look at all the information I just showed you and says, yep, sweet. You know what, I want to tell you something. Think of it like this, okay? If you are bullish on leverage here. So if you're bullish Bitcoin on leverage, like $43,000, where would you want to exit your stop if you're on leverage? That's the question, okay? So I'm telling you, don't do leverage, but it's something to think about. To kind of figure out, do you have a good trade or not? Right? Should you be bullish? Okay, now this is the 4-hour chart, okay? So if you're bullish here, let's say you are bullish and you think it's going up, where would you want to get out? Okay, so if you look at the chart here, you can easily see these 2 points of mark. So it's almost like guaranteed, nearly guaranteed. Anybody who wants to send it up higher just goes, okay, sweet, let's just do this, and then we and then we do that. Like, you're just watching these 2 levels. So playing around with these squiggly lines, they will just get you into more harm than good. Because obviously we know long-term bulls, everything, yes. But the Bitcoin move might be done. But we're all here for the altcoins anyway, okay? And that's where ultimately it comes down to. Because the last thing I'm going to show you, friends, the Bitcoin dominance and ETH BTC. The Bitcoin dominance is real close to flipping red here, which is what we want. Which means Ethereum is gaining on the market. Look at this. ETH BTC almost flips the weekly super trend here, 0.061. If we can get that, we will get that. All right. If we can get that, it's going to be a sign from the market. It's go time. A go time for altcoins. This might be the final run, right? Before, because you don't know how bad it's going to get, friends. Look, it's still possible when the Fed cuts rates and then the stock market goes down eventually. It's possible the stock market doesn't go down as bad as everybody thinks, because maybe the economic data that the market was expecting ain't as bad anymore. Because this has happened before in history. You just don't know that. It happened 1 out of 9 times. 8 out of 9 times when it comes to this, it was worse than expected every time. So you don't know, right? That's why just be careful. If we get massive euphoria in the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to have to act, okay? Now, you don't have to act with like your whole portfolio, but I'm just telling you, if you're in risky stuff and they've gone up, and you've seen these chart patterns, you got to get the super high risk leverage. You got to peel those off as a first priority. Okay, we'll speak more about that later. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, and all. Tell mum and dad you love and appreciate them. Catch you soon.